It's been a while, huh? It's really been some time since I last vlogged or posted anything on the channel for that matter. But I have a few updates to share with you, and I'm actually super excited about them. So basically, I went to London a week ago. Um, Actually, more than a week ago now. Yeah. Basically, I left on 10th of December and I came back on 14th of December. The whole trip was absolutely wonderful. Like, honestly, there are so much layers to go through in here because, first and foremost, this has been my dream ever since I was like 12 or 13. Don't ask me why London specifically. It's just like, yeah, whatever, dude. I always loved the English language, so I think that may have been the biggest influence. Also, my cat is, oh my god, she's like whoring herself for my attention right now. It was a gem of an experience. Oh my god, like I can't even express it with words known to mankind how much it meant to me. And also, I feel like I in a sense, I lost something, but I gained something more profound. So it was really a wonderful experience, but it didn't feel like that at first, if that makes sense. Or rather, coming back from London didn't feel like that at first. So, what I'm trying to say is that I had to process through some things, and when I did so, it took me a few days of bawling my eyes out here and there. But once I got over that, and I came back to journaling, which I think is a massive thing. So a few years ago, I picked up a habit of journaling, which was something that I honestly don't know how I started now. I think it may have been some part of an interview with Giancarlo Esposito, who's like I solemnly believe that he's my spiritual idol. So I think he might have touched upon journaling in one of his interviews, but I'm not sure. Definitely I picked up yoga and meditation because of him, but journaling I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I was neglecting it for months now, right? And then after that trip to London, actually, sometime before I went to London, I remember revisiting my journal and I decided to, just kind of try to process and sort my thoughts. But past London, I felt like I really freaking needed it because, like, a few things happened, and but mostly I think what it was is that it dawned upon me that this is somewhere like this place. I'm not saying London specifically, but just like the idea of being outside of my country made me so liberated, made me feel so free for some reason and just like more at home. Maybe it doesn't make sense at all, but I felt safer there and just at peace with myself than in my homeland, right? Because I don't think I mentioned that on my channel before, but I will do that now. Ever since I remember, I haven't felt a connection to my home country, like at all. I do appreciate Polish history, but aside from that, I can't say I have been emotionally invested in this place at all. I just don't like it, you know? And I always wanted to move out. And when I got a sample by visiting London, which is, in England, so a country that speaks mostly English, I was like, wow, this is so extraordinary. I love it. And the thing is, when I came back, you have to kind of come down from that high and come back to reality. And that's what's so much. Oh, it was so freaking painful, honestly. Yeah, that and also just like general life clarification, let's say. And then I remember I was like second day of my breakdown. I'm laughing about it now, but promise it was not funny at all. Like actually, not funny at all. Like I was having a very rough time. I've noticed when it comes to my self-improvement journey, and I'm very curious to hear you guys like in the comments if you would like to share anything, of course. But from my personal experience, I've noticed that the better I am, the better I become, uh, then less frequently I find myself in that place down low. But when I do, it it feels so much worse than it felt before. When you are bad mentally, and you are bad mentally like almost every day or literally every day, then your mind and everything, your entire body literally is used to it. It feels so natural, so familiar to you that it is scary. I'm not saying it's not difficult, but it's like it's your natural state, if that makes sense. But once you climb up and you are like, oh my god, there is sunlight, guys, right? So you want to keep climbing up, but then one step of the ladder just like breaks and you fall on your back down in that pit again, and you're like, oh my fucking god, that one step of the ladder is missing, I will not be able to climb back. It feels so much worse. Like maybe I'm tripping, and of course everyone's experiences are different, but here's my personal view on that, right? So yeah, that's essentially where I found myself after that trip. And then I was just, yeah, journaling, just talking to a friend, trying to figure stuff out, to a few friends actually. And after that, I realized that something is stopping me and always has been stopping me. And it's not some, godly force putting me and keeping me on a leash. It is just me. I'm the one holding the leash, I'm the one like tying it up to a pole and attaching it to my neck. And after that, I was like, dude, what am I even doing with myself, right? And I remember laying in my bed after I was crying, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I got up and I got like out of fucking nowhere. I got a surge of energy, like super productive. And I was like, I need to be there. And I need to be the one to do it because no one's gonna do it for me. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I always had this struggle in my life where I would compare myself age wise to others, right? So I shit you not, I literally would go like, oh, here's this very famous person who's my age, and look at me. I'm so miserable, like sitting here and stuff. And the thing is, it's so incredibly toxic to think of you this way because you assign some materialistic ideology that owning this or having that equals a specific category of worth, which is simply not true. Because the thing is, like different things happen to different people. We are all actually different. We do have similar experiences, but if you're authentic and if you are your true self, then this is like the only way to being original, if that makes sense. So everyone is kind of different, even though we may seem that we are like the same or whatever, but we are actually different. And the thing is, you can't compare yourself to someone else because that's another being, right? And even though you do that, and everyone does that, trust me, because if you are watching this and if you struggle with the same thing, trust me, everyone compares themselves, or at least did. And the thing is, this is not the way to go. Like, actually, this is not the way to go. Because the thing is, if you have two favorite movies or a movie and a song, right? these are two different things. Like, you don't compare them quality wise. You don't go like, oh my god, this movie, I don't know, Lord of the Rings is so good, and then compare it to Lana Del Rey song or something. Like, that makes no sense, right? So try to look at it that way. Like, you should not compare yourself to other people because they are just not you, right? You have your own journey, you have your own path ahead, and sometimes the paths can be maybe laid down by someone else, some mentor, your family, other support, but other journeys are different. And you can, what I tend to do is I envy people who have some type of privileges, right? So, for example, supportive parents, like financially supportive, emotionally supportive, I don't know, family abroad, you name it, right? The possibilities here are endless. But the thing is, if I just sit down and I say, oh, these bloody privileged people, okay, like no one's gonna change, you know what I mean? Like they will still have their own privilege, and I will continue to just rot in place pretty much. So it sounds like you do realize that, but sometimes when you are at that low moment, you actually don't. I know it sounds corny when I talk about it now, but I just felt like sharing it because it's so significant to me now. And the thing is, I mentioned that I had this productive spike, right? So I was thinking, dude, I want to meet people who are like me. I want to surround myself with people who are creative, who choose to express themselves, you know? And I can't expect to be in a company like that when I don't bring anything into it, you know? I need to align myself. Let's say you have like a river that has different like corridors, right? And you are in one that is full of branches that are in your way. So even though you try to swim with the current, you struggle, right? It's difficult to get across because there are obstacles in your way. So imagine that the main corridor of the river, the main current, is where there's like a cool ship waiting for you, packed with cool people that are going to influence your life in one way or the other, sometimes negatively, sometimes positively. But everything is an experience, and you ultimately have to find out, right? So you have to do everything you can to align yourself and go to that corridor. And sometimes another problem that I have realizing is that it takes time, right? Many people struggle with being consistent because they expect um, an outcome, you know, benefits that are immediate, that would like keep them motivated. But the thing is, motivation is really a myth. It usually appears in those random, you know, influxes of productivity. But what you should be focusing on is discipline, right? So just work on building discipline to do just like a simple thing every single day towards your goals, because no one's gonna do them for you, right? And the thing is, there is never too late to start. That's another thing. So no matter if you are 20 or 18, because sometimes people are like so crazy. I know I was like that too. It's like, oh, 18, I'm graduating high school and I don't know what to do. Girl, sit down, please. You're so young. I'm so very young. People who are 30 are also so very young. Like, guys, please, just don't give up on yourself, is what I'm telling you. Like, no matter where you are, at what dark and seemingly helpless, oh my god, hopeless and helpless place at life you find yourself in. Just don't give up on yourself. That's the thing. And I wanted to say that after that experience, I just realized I have to do something. I wanted to start creating a path for me. And ever since I remember I was artistically inclined, I somehow was just drawn to art, a visual one, but not just visual. I remember also wanting to pick up an instrument, just anything that's art related has always just attracted me like a moth to a flame. Even though professionally I currently have a source of income that's connected to the IT, it has never been a choice that I made out of passion. It was a choice that I made out of necessity to sustain myself and provide for myself. And then I realized that even though the people that I look up to say that a huge part of their success is just luck, lucky to be noticed, lucky to be spotted, lucky to be given a specific type of chance. The thing is, objectively speaking, you will not ever get lucky if you are not creating a situation where you can get luck, if that makes sense. You actually have to put in the work, you have to put yourself out there, because nothing's gonna be just randomly given to you. And although it may seem very obvious, sometimes when you find yourself at that low moment, you may just not see it. And that's what it was for me. And I have been struggling with that for years, where I had some type of ideas, but I would always think that I'm not enough. There are better people out there. There's this, there's that. But because of what I said earlier, that if you are your authentic self, you actually become original. I realized that if I stay true to myself, what I can offer is something that no one else can offer. I will stay true to my heart, and I vow to do that to myself. And I will just kidnap you on the journey as I grow, as I fall, as I succeed, as I don't know, cry. And we will see what the future holds. And I want to document all of that just for my future self and for everything, because I feel like I will not regret that decision and the journey that I decide to embark on. I think like that's the only certainty that I will have. I'm not sure if that's going to work out. I'm not sure when it's going to work out, rather, but we will see. And yeah, that's it. So, as I said, or maybe I didn't say, I'm kidnapping you on my journey. Um, and if you like to be kidnapped, if you consent to that, then I don't know, sub the channel or just dial in once in a while. And yeah, that's it really. Have a great one. Thank you for watching.